Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Pirillo wearing my TerrorBot shirt, and this is your Geek Out for today. And this Geek Out is once again brought to you by GoToAssist from Citrix. You can take control of your IT world from one simple cloud-based platform. With GoToAssist, you can keep all of your systems up and running while keeping all of your users supported. Provide live or unattended support from anywhere, even from your iPad. If you have an iPad, I hope you have an iPad. If not, well, maybe you can get an iPad. Who wouldn't take an excuse for getting an iPad? Anyway, for a free 30-day trial, no, not of an iPad, of GoToAssist, head over to GoToAssist.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. That's my last name, Pirillo. TwoFruits1Robot.com is our featured Nomies site of the day. If you want access to Nomies, you can. Just head over to Nomies.com. It's really for those of you who want to get inside my brain and have me on retainer at your beck and call, virtually. Well, at least for business intelligence. Have you guys looked at the free Malwarebytes tools? No, not the Malwarebytes anti-malware tool. We all know about that. The other tools that include the tool that might help you speed up Windows boot time, well, they're available. Trust me, they're worth looking at, and they're free. You like free, don't you? Dear Candice, I'm sorry about the internet. One of our new contributors is being very warmly received by you, the community. In fact, one of the comments that was left on this particular article last night was, hey, wow, Candice is a great writer. How can I subscribe to get her stuff as soon as it comes out? Of course, my response was, follow us on Twitter, @LockerGnome. Subscribe to the LockerGnome email newsletter. Right there. Well, not the form, unless this video is embedded on a page that has the form somewhere. Either way, Candice, had an issue with some people who weren't really respectful of her thoughts. And I had explained to Candice, as she was crafting this piece, she was, by the way, writing to her 15-year-old self as she published this. Oh, I wonder what I would say to my 15-year-old self. What would you say to your 15-year-old self? Unless, of course, you are 15 years old, in which case, do you talk to yourself? I think what was interesting about the whole scenario is that time and again, when someone gets upset at you and argues and just genuinely makes you feel this tall, it's less about you and it's more about them. They're projecting themselves onto you. And that doesn't make it easier to deal with when we have difficult situations and someone doesn't respect us and our perspectives. But certainly, I wish I could have better prepared myself for what I face on a daily basis with what we do on LockerGnome. And, I wonder, maybe I should write a letter to my 15-year-old self. What Ron Palillo's Arnold Horshack taught the world about Geeks. If you're not familiar, the actor who played Horshack in Welcome Back, Kotter passed away just yesterday, and very sad to hear that. Of course, no one wants to hear about any deaths. But if there was a model that I guess we could identify as one of TV's first nerds or geeks, Horshack was probably it. I remember watching Welcome Back, Kotter as a kid. I didn't know much about it. I remember seeing Barbarino and thinking, well, he's Italian, therefore I'm kind of like him, but I never really felt like I would have been as cool as him. I was more like Horshack, or would have been more like Horshack. Some would say I am Horshack. I'm not. I don't have the same voice. You thought, just saying. And I think today, if the same show were to run, Horshack would be the cool one, not Barbarino. You guys think I'm cool, right? WedPics lets you crowdsource your wedding album. I know there are many applications you could use to get pictures organized into one spot, and sometimes it's just as easy to have everybody upload to their Facebook profile. Of course, Google Plus now has that events feature that would work well if we could just get more people using Google Plus. I mean, as many people as certainly use Facebook. My engagement's been great. I'm not saying there's anything bad with Google Plus, and I talked about that earlier this week, as a matter of fact. But these types of apps are exactly where the industry's headed, right? You don't need one app to rule them all. You just need an app that does what it does and does it well. And, when you get married, you want people to take photos. Or I assume you do, unless, of course, you're a wedding photographer, in which case you're really upset that everybody can take photos. In fact, I got to tell you, I'm very happy that Diana and I went the route we did with our wedding photography, because we got a lot of photos taken from the perspectives of our friends, and those are the ones that I cherish. So there you go, for all you people who are getting married. Audio production on your iPhone and iPod Touch using Bossjock Studio. Here's another helpful guide in our long series of helping you podcast or record audio on the go, or maybe in your home studio. I'm telling you, man, this thing is amazing. This computer that I have in my hand is far more powerful than most of the computers I had when I was growing up. Does so much, so long as you're using the right software. So if you have audio recording needs and the stock audio recording software just isn't cutting it, well, maybe you may want to check out this Bossjock Studio. We've got a full write-up on LockerGnome. The link, of course, is in the video's description. And I have to say that. I have to remind you the links are there because people ask, and I'm like, dude, there's a reason we put the links there. Links are not for you to look at. Links do you know. Look at me, listen to me, click links. Goodbye, social media. I'm leaving you. Not me, Max. Max is getting rid of social media. He's tired of it. He's done. In fact, if you want to increase your productivity, unless you live in the world of social media and that's your business, you don't need social media. It wastes time. Not to say that it's a waste of time. It's just that if you need to get something done and social media tools are getting in the way of you getting something done, what are you doing? What are you doing? Maybe it's time to say goodbye to social media, or at least cut down on it. Please, keep watching our videos. And I'm not saying that you should get off of social media just because, I said so. Don't. You can, but I wish you wouldn't, because we need you. Julia Child remixed for PBS to celebrate her 100th birthday. It's actually a pretty cool video. It's very reminiscent of what they did for Mr. Rogers a few months back. That was really cool. That was a song that just was stuck in my head for days. Of course, I grew up with Mr. Rogers. Didn't really grow up with Julia Child. I'm not saying I grew up with Mr. Rogers, like I knew him. Although I did actually meet the guy who played Mr. McFeely, which now that I think about it is kind of a creepy last name. How vulnerable to attack is your computer? See US-CERT. Hey, give it a shot. Do you know how vulnerable you are? Probably very. But I don't know. I'm on your computer somehow. You're watching me somewhere. It may be vulnerable. Find out. There's a tool that you can use. Bumbo product recall reminds us how to stay safe. Look around you right now. There are probably dozens of objects that may have been recalled because there was a problem. Let's say my lip balm had the chance of exploding. I wouldn't have known, right? It's something I wish the web would do a better job with. The problem with that is the web doesn't know that I have all these objects in my house. I would have to manually input them somehow, and to stay up to date with all the recall possibilities. And I've actually been notified by you subscribers when something was recalled and you knew that I had it. And if it weren't for you, again, I'd be shortchanged. I wouldn't know. There's so many things you have to watch out for, especially when it comes to safety. If you guys know of a better way of watching for product recalls, let us know. I'm seriously interested. If only for myself and my own personal needs, but I would love to share that information with the rest of the community. You can tweet us at LockerGnome would be a great place where we would pick it up and possibly reshare it with the rest of you guys so it doesn't get buried in the comments. Windows 8 RTM out now for MSDN and TechNet subscribers. Get to downloading! That's one of the things I hope to do over the next few days. I don't have a lot of time today. I'm kind of busy with other things. But I gotta tell you, I'm very much looking forward to see what Microsoft has in the final version, or the first version, of Windows 8. Of course, I don't know which PC I'm going to install it on. I really want to get a touchscreen PC with a resistive screen. No, I'm sorry. Not resistive. Capacitive. And there is a difference. Can't believe I have one with a resistive screen, and that's exactly what I do. I resist it. Samsung to launch Galaxy Note 10.1 tablet on Thursday. Any of you guys gonna wait in line for that one? Google Maps now has schedules for more than 1 million public transit stops worldwide. Wow, that's kind of green and cool. And of course, it dovetails into their Android experience on the go. It makes sense. I wish I had more opportunities to ride public transportation, but unfortunately, even around here in, a relatively urban environment, public transportation is not amazing. Certainly not as amazing as it was when I lived in San Francisco. UK threatens to enter Ecuadorian embassy and arrest WikiLeaks Julian Assange. Here's the thing. What did he do? Well, he told secrets, or I guess he shared secrets, or he was the conduit for secrets, but maybe they shouldn't have been secrets. Now, I'm not saying that everything should be out in the open, but maybe if the world was a bit more transparent, Julian wouldn't be the whipping boy. Germany. Facebook must destroy facial recognition database. Must be destroyed. Actually, it's, kind of nice to hear that Germany's sticking up for us. I mean, even though I'm not German, I love Germany, been there twice, as I mentioned in the vlog the other day. That's just privacy concerns. I put myself out there, and I'm aware of what I do, or as much as I possibly can be, but knowing full well that someone else may be able to glean information from me or about me without my permission is just a little weird. Here's a question just popped up on lockergnome.net. Does Windows really need Arrow-like appearance? No, just needs to be consistent with the UI, and I don't know if it's quite there yet. It will be, hopefully, eventually, maybe. Muttley2209 asks, I'd really like to see Chris do another video segment alongside the Geek Outs where he could answer more questions here or from YouTube, or he can spend more time addressing them. It'd be cool to watch and listen. Yeah, I agree. I like answering questions. There's a couple challenges around that, though. One, you only have so much time in the day. Two, I only have so much time in the day. And I would rather condense what we believe is important for the day into one video. And as we carve them out, certainly there are going to be times that may warrant a separate video upload or a separate question to be answered. And we have resources like lockergnome.net, where these questions could be, answered more easily. Producing video and doing video is very, very time intensive. And when we were producing more videos, the problem was we may have answered a really good question, but it was buried. And I don't want any of the stuff that we do to get buried. I want you to enjoy the things that we produce for you. Here in the LockerGnome YouTube channel, following LockerGnome on Twitter, over on lockergnome.com, lockergnome.net, and being able to find that balance so that we're not burying what you see as important. I appreciate that you want more from us. Believe me, we're doing our best. And we'll continue to tweak that model to better address the questions that you have. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to make them. Trust me, we're very aware that you like hearing from us. Otherwise, why would you be liking these videos? Why would you be commenting? Why would you be sharing? Why would you be engaging? We want to do more of what you like, but there's a line which we don't want to cross, and that's doing too much. So just keep that in mind, as we try to wrap it into one video. And I realize this video may be longer, but the chances of you watching another video after this, well, hopefully it's the Pirillo vlog or maybe another one we produced for LockerGnome. But when you're in the middle of one video, you may not be thinking, oh, great, there's 6 more videos I have to watch after that. It's usually easier to just do one. But it is a good question. My question of the day for you is, will you follow LockerGnome on Twitter? We're almost at 10,000 followers over there. That's pretty cool. And here's what I'm going to do for you. If you do follow LockerGnome on Twitter and you say, hey, I just followed LockerGnome on Twitter, if you do that on Twitter, I'm going to DM 10 of you and DM you the link to where you can download all of our Gnome Tomes, the ebooks that we've currently got posted to gnometomes.com, something like 40 ebooks. I'll send you the link. 10 of you, just for following LockerGnome and telling the world that you followed LockerGnome. So will you follow LockerGnome? That's the question of the day. We'll see you later. Yeah, this is TerrorBot.